I didn't hear that. All right, welcome everyone to our ALC team meeting. Kami is out of town. I will be getting us started, and then we'll go through some ALC numbers, and then Bethany's going to take over with some wonderful stuff. And first we'll start with announcements. Any bucket fill, something good?
Well, I'm excited that Bethany's taking it over because.
Me too. You know that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, thank you.
You know that's going to be a good
Well,
one.
before you even get started.
Yeah, bucket fills, anything good? Kevin? Nice to see Kevin here.
So I like the bucket full Courtney. She's been running wild, doing a lot. We've been super busy and she's been keeping up and keeping everything straight. So awesome job. Thank you, Courtney.
Are we doing the video? Who's doing the videos?
Courtney's coordinating it all. But we've got
Fantastic.
They are.
I don't do them,
But
but
yeah, so good.
You know, I can kind of say something about that because Lydia was gone, so I was doing MLS and I'm like, my God, Courtney, how many withholds do I have from the weekend? So nice
a
job.
lot.
Nice job. John.
I want to bucket Phil Hudson for sending me his test results last week of his real estate test that he failed. Because he'd have to retake it on Friday, and then shortly after send me the proper results because it was April 1st.
Oh, that's hilarious. Nice job, Hudson.
Yeah, he did.
That's pretty funny.
It's okay, I didn't take it again. I'm sure I took it like 5 times.
I did. It took me 5 times fast state exam.
Oh. It's that ethics portion that was troublesome.
I took my Florida real estate license on April Fool's Day and passed it, so I'm licensed.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yay.
Let me know.
Congratulations. All right. The training calendar for April, because it is April. It is April, which is great. We have, well, we get into more detail later. Yeah. So, reminder, no CE class tomorrow.
Yes, we're looking at dates in May, so we will have that one.
And have to
in May.
cancel.
Yeah.
Okay. Still on this one.
Yes, this is the following Wednesday. It's also tax day, so say your taxes are done and you'll come to PE that day. We have one at 10 and one at 11. The Google form is to sign up for both. You don't have to attend both. If you just want to come for one of those hours, that is also fine.
So you could get 2 more hours of free CE.
Yep.
Awesome.
You do it up for just want to get the.
QR code there.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. And you guys, the Grab and Grow, this is a client event that the office is hosting it here, putting it on. We are ordering the plants for you. This can be your event. This is how agents do the pie giveaway. Bethany does a pizza giveaway. This is exactly what that is. So for some of the agents that don't have a huge team, individual agents, this is perfect for you guys to host a big event for your clients. Coming in here, picking up either the tomato plant or the herb garden. It's a variety of 6 herbs. It is on Thursday, May 7th from 4 to 6. Supreme is providing food. We will either be doing a barbecue or pizza, depending on weather. This is a perfect way to do an inexpensive, reasonable event. All of your clients are going to come here. They don't know, you're going to be here with your clients. You're handing your plants to your clients. It looks like you have a lot of clients in a big event. I would really, really encourage you to partake in this. It's a great, easy way to contact. It's calling everyone in your inviting them, reminding them of it. Keep in mind, you have Profile. Profile is doing an entire marketing plan for you for $50. They will do everything. They will customize the PDF for you, the marketing, the material. They will send out the emails. They will create the Eventbrite for you. So, I mean, you could have an entire event taken care of by us. So, you will need to be there. You will need to hand out your plans, but we'll be ordering them. You would be invoiced for them. So You guys, if this is something that you talk about wanting to have an event and just not having the time, the opportunity, this is the perfect way to do it. So please, please partake in this as an individual agent and reach out to Profile. They can take care of everything for you. And then all you're doing is giving one call to your clients, and it's a great way to reach out to them, especially in spring.
Also, the deadline to sign up for this is next Wednesday,
Yeah,
so
April 15th.
do it now,
We
please.
have to have the plans ordered by April 15th. So, yeah.
And teams can do this too.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
teams can do this too. Anyone can do this. Sorry. Yes, teams can do this. Anyone can do this. A great event, completely put on for your clients. So, yes. Oh, is that this Thursday? I'm going to a regional meeting out of the office on Thursday, so none of us will be here. Great to know. Thanks, Liz. Where's it at?
Bloomington.
Oh, beautiful
Oh,
Bloomington
great.
this time of year. So nice.
Be Wealthy Brett Tanner. I think, Candy, maybe you know a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so it's a great opportunity to come hear from Brett. He is kind of the leader of the wealth community through Keller Williams, and just a wealth of knowledge and on just building your kind of his big thing is building your 30-day or your 30-year plan. And where you want to be in 30 years, and then kind of working back on how you're going to get there for your wealth. So it should be an awesome event. And it's going to be small. So if you wanted to have some time just to talk with him, it would be a great opportunity to go and attend this. So
Awesome. Any questions, let us know. Oh, early bird tickets for Mega Camp. Fantastic, $8.49, great deal. Held in San Antonio again this year. San Antonio is really fun, Mega Camp, tons of information to get out of there. A great event to attend. Agents from all over, a little smaller version of family reunion, a little bit more general sessions compared to breakouts, tons of information. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. And now we can start our ALC. We started.
Motion to start the meeting.
Second.
All right. So our wonderful ALC, thank you guys all so much for coming and participating. We are going to go over their numbers as we do at our ALC meeting. Anybody want to start?
I can go ahead.
Awesome.
So reporting out for March, my goal was 400 dials. I'm pretty confident I did over 400, but I have them all tracked. Contacts 100, hit 100. Our team goal for appointments was 20. We hit 20. Our goal for contract signed, so new listings or buyer representations, goal was 16. We signed 15. Closed unit goal was 12. We only closed 6. GCI goal was 175,000. We missed that and ended the month at 99,927. And we're still wrapping up our books for March, but we should be profitable. Just we'll miss our profit goal. But we'll be.
I'll go. So I had a goal of 108 dials for the month. That means 75. Had a goal of 5 contacts, made 27. Had a goal of 7 appointments, made 4. Had a goal of 4 contracts. I didn't make 4 contracts. Closed unit goal was 3. Ended up closing on 4. GCI goal of 30. Ended up closing 1,005.
Let's see, my contacts or my dials is 400, hit 400, maybe a little bit more. Contacts goal is 200, able to hit about 10. Appointments goal is 17 and had 20 appointments. Contracts written, which we count as purchase agreements, not listing. 12. Closed units goal is 13. And our actual was 6, so low on the actual closed units for March. And GCI goal is about a half of what we're looking at.
But both you and Bethany have still your contracts written. You reached that, so that will be coming up.
Correct,
Yeah.
yes, future months.
Awesome.
Let's see, my dials goal was 2,400. I was short with 1,860. Contacts goal was 240. I surpassed that with 362. I made a bunch of follow-up calls. Appointments, I was short. Goal was 20 at 18. Contracts, goal was 9. I actually had 14. And I'm kind of signed buyer up. Closed units goal was 6. Had 7. And we surpassed our GCI goal.
Awesome. Amy had, I have to admit, I'm sorry, I don't 100% know on her, dials, but she did have, a goal of 40 appointments. She had 25, which does include the entire market center. And she had, sorry, I pulled up her report. So she had 25 points. We did have a goal of 8 gross. We grossed 5. We had,
Which, just for context, that means new agents
Oh.
added to the office,
Yep.
is what that means.
yep, so we grossed 5 new agents added to the market center. 3 of them were on teams. One is no production coming back, and then 1 will be joining the productivity coaching program. And we had 1 agent out, so we net 4 agents. Kind of a big deal for the market center. We hit over 150 agents first time ever in history. So we are at 151 agents, so that was pretty exciting. And so yes, I'm just not 100% sure on her dials, and we have the same goals for April. You know, we're gonna gross 8 new agents or 8 agents and net at least 5. So yeah.
Anyone have any questions on numbers that were reported out?
For Jacob, your 2,400 dials, are those just yours or is that your team?
That's mine. That was my goal. I was short.
But still hit 1,000.
I mean, what a lucky hit 1,800.
Yeah. I didn't know if that included your team or if you
Yeah,
just
that's just
report
me.
your own, okay.
How long is it taking you?
I don't track.
And how many
Yeah.
is that out? Yeah. Yep, just, yep, okay.
And it's not perfect.
Okay. I had asked Lydia to incorporate 2 slides. So I thought we could talk through sources of business and reasons people move. Because I was thinking about, you know, when the ALC is up here, like really the goal is for us to be able to share our wins and honestly our challenges and losses to expose everybody to, you know, different ways of leading and conducting your business. And so I think one thing when I talk to agents and they're struggling with their production, like I don't think any of us actually had a banger of a first quarter. Like we're all behind our goals for the year. But when you can go, okay, but I know how to go generate more business, there's confidence that comes with that. So I thought it might be helpful. This is just our teams, and I would assume that it's pretty similar probably for everybody sitting up here. But this is just how we track it. So this is our last year's production. So our team closed 112 units. And I track what was generated by the agents on the team. And then I track what was generated by the business, which is technically me, or systems that the business has had in place. And the difference in these are honestly more like lead generation. And the ones on the left are more lead receiving, because I can't control how many sign calls I get. I can't control how many people decide to, you know, Google something and our team comes up. Like, yes, I can do things that influence those things. I can have bigger signs, more, yard signs, etc. But like, I can't just bank on that stuff coming in all the time. Does that make sense? So when looking at lead
Does that include
generation,
referrals?
yes.
Okay.
So, and we put my database over here, like my database referrals, because to be honest, I'm not the best lead generator anymore. And so what I thought would be helpful, and Jess, would you mind helping me?
Oh, I can do that.
So these are memory joggers. So before people join our team, just so you guys, they have to build a database of at least 200 people before their first day, or they don't have their first day with us. And a lot of times I find people struggle to build their database because they're like, well, who should I be adding? Like, who should I be adding to a spreadsheet? So this is a memory jogger that we give people. So if you're struggling to build your database, these are the people that maybe you should be adding. Or I'm going to be a little aggressive and say, or maybe you shouldn't be doing business with them if you don't think that they're going to do business with you. Example, I purposely switched hairstylists when the gal that I was using was doing real estate with someone else. I was like, okay, well, I'm sitting here in a chair spending a lot of money for 4 hours of stuff. Like, I would like that to be reciprocated. And I purposely went out and found a gal who was in my database through other people that I knew didn't own a house yet. And what do you know? Michelle and her husband Bryce bought a house with us a year later, right? So some of these might come easy to you. Others might be kind of like, oh, maybe I do need that person in my database, or I do need to go find someone. Ben, I'm putting you on the spot, but would you say that your business sources last year looked pretty similar?
Yes. Yeah. I would say the biggest is database, and open house.
And then for us, agent referrals is actually a pretty big one. I think last year we closed like 19 agent referrals from different agents in other states that sent us referrals. But anyone have any questions on this or sources of business? Okay. If you wouldn't mind going to the next slide, this is the other thing that we track is reasons people move. So when you're looking at one, just like, what are the scripts that you need to master? Or most of the time when people need to move, there's a problem. Like, example, relocation. Their problem is they currently own a home in one state, but they're being relocated for whatever reason to another one. That's a problem. So actually knowing, okay, what are the biggest stressors for someone that's a relocation person? And how do you go into that appointment knowing how do I solve their problems? Does that make sense? And these are also things that I would encourage, like we break it down by agent on the team too. So let's say Jordan on our team does a bunch of relocation. Then my encouragement to Jordan would be not only how does he get really good at it, but then we need to collect reviews that pertain to relocation. We also should be creating content around relocation and some of those scripts and how he solves those problems. Because I find that most of the time when I don't lead generate, it's either because I'm too busy doing things that don't actually bring me money, or two, it's because I'm overcomplicating something that's really not that complicated. And so by going, and what I would encourage people to do too, is if you haven't thought through some of these, like offloading investor. I have a bunch of investors now that are sick of being landlords. They are tired of it, but they're so overwhelmed and they're struggling with, okay, well, how do I get my house on the market and do showings when I still have a tenant in the property and some of those different things. So by thinking through what are their pain points and coming in with a plan, you will increase your conversion ratio to appointment to getting them to sign the contract. What would you say, Ben, are some of the leading reasons people move in your database?
In ours, it's gonna be first-time home buyers or move-up buyers.
And what do you think those problems are? What's the problem for a first-time home buyer?
The problem, they wanna build their own equity. This is the main, but they wanna get away.
get away from it and have more freedom.
And what do you think most of their questions are around? Yeah. 100%. So if you think you're gonna work a lot with first-time home buyers, I would get time with lenders to learn what are the lowest down payment lending options, so that when people say, I can't, I'd love to buy a house, but I can't afford to, you can come back and say, well, what if you only needed to put 3.5% down? Because I think some people's parents still coach them that they need to put 20% down, so they think that homeownership is acceptable. What was the other one you said?
Move up buyers, down sellers.
And so move up buyers, what do you guys think the problem is for move up people?
Your rate.
I think the rate right now, because they're kind of handcuffed to a lower rate. What else? I see a big one.
Sell the current home and buy the next one.
Yeah, how the heck do you time that? How do you time selling and buying at the same time, right? So that would be something, again, I would make sure you have in your plan, in your listing presentation. So when you go out there and be bold enough to say, hey, Jess, you're probably thinking, how the heck do I sell and buy at the same time? When do we do showings? How do I get my house ready and keep it clean? So I'd like to walk you through our step-by-step process on how to do that. Does that work for you? Right? Like that's what they need to hear from us, is confidence in fixing whatever they need. What do you think is the biggest problem with downsizing?
As to where they're gonna go and be okay with the space that they're going to have, and then it actually costs a big house that they're selling in a smaller place. So the numbers have to make sense, and the space has to make.
You need help figuring out how clutter or take away money.
100%. Having those resources for those people, 100%. Even as simple as a lot of people don't know the cost of movers. So we bring a sheet with us on all of our appointments, because once people realize that actually it doesn't cost them $10,000 to hire a mover, they're like, oh, that sounds amazing. I don't have to rent a U-Haul. Like, I even make a joke around it to try to lighten the mood. I'm like, listen, we're getting too old to be paying our friends in pizza and beer to help us move, right? Like, and they usually chuckle like, oh yeah, you're right. Like, this is way easier for you. We also assumptive close most people on just having our cleaner do their move out clean. The last thing you want to do after you packed up your house is clean your house. Our cleaner is about $600 to clean a house of your size. You can make moving sound so simple. They're like, yes, please, we want to work with you. Yeah.
People do, how, are people doing bridge loans? Do you guys, can you speak to that?
So we work with a lender that can actually use the client's equity in their current house to approve them for the new one, non-contingent. And then we just try to time it where they don't actually have to use that product, and we just sell and buy it the same day. We rarely need them to actually use it, but we want them to be pre-approved that they could if they needed to.
But I assume, I bought and sold all at once. No.
Well, we should open this up to everybody, but like, I just negotiate additional possession time for my people. And usually that works where I'll say, especially if they're selling to a first-time home buyer, you can usually find that out. Like, hey, do you mind me asking, is your client currently in a lease, or is the closing date flexible? Because then I kind of know what's the situation that buyer's in. And if I can get my clients 2 additional days, and how I word it is I'll say, hey, the seller needs 2 additional days to get moved out of the house, and we will put in the purchase agreement. And this actually is a lot easier on me too, because there's nothing that kills the mood like a bad walkthrough. And so we get our sellers to just put in the purchase agreement with that they're going to have the house professionally cleaned. And I don't have an issue with buyer's agents pushing back. You guys have.
So most of your do not have immediate possession,
Correct.
is what you're saying.
A lot of them don't.
A lot of them don't. And you find the buyers are generally okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got a whole domino effect of closings, that makes it more challenging.
Yeah.
But I'm a big fan and believer in that most things are figure outable. So. Because you could do it even with like 24 hours of extra possession.
So you also change your listing presentation on knowing what that client wants to do, whether they're moving up, moving down.
I wouldn't say I changed the presentation. I would say I focused on different
Got it.
things in the presentation depending on what their needs are.
And you always have these vendors and relationships in there saying, this is how smooth and easy it can be. These are the people you can use.
Would you say there's stuff you'd add, Ben?
Yeah, no, I mean, another great program that a lot of our clients use so that they have a little bit more overlap is just recasting that mortgage so that you essentially can buy non-contingent and maybe you have 2 weeks or a month to do some painting and flooring as well. So that's, but same idea.
And I would say the easiest way to learn about all that is just sit down with a lender and say, can you walk me through programs that would help a first-time home buyer? Can you walk me through programs that would help a move-up buyer? Like, take this list of, this is just ours, but my bet would be most people's is relatively similar.
Eric, could anyone step in your office and you could help them with that?
Nope, I don't like talking to people. Of course, yes, anybody and everybody. I'm happy to walk through all of those programs and explain the benefits and drawbacks.
Because yes, to Eric's point, like they're not all perfect. So I always make sure too when I'm talking to people, like, hey, I'm gonna connect you with Eric. He's the professional, but there are programs where you can leverage your equity, or there are programs where you can this. I never make them sound like they're automatically approved because I know about it.
How do you manage people, looking for a new house? They haven't sold theirs yet. They don't have a pending offer. Do they use them to look for places they don't have an offer?
Jacob, do you want to answer that? And then I mean, I can too, but
I usually recommend we don't start looking until you're under contract. Unless they have an option where they can somehow close on that, the next home.
Right, non-contingent.
Yeah.
one thing that we do, because the biggest thing with anyone is moving them through your lead funnel. So like I like visuals, like I like graphs, I like charts, and I think of a lead funnel, and your goal is to move people through the lead funnel and the bottom of the funnel is closing, right? So we're putting as many people in the top of the funnel as we can. And then your goal really is to just what's the next step. So when you're prospecting, however that is, the goal is what? The appointment. Then from the appointment, your goal is what? It's the contract, like the listing or the buy side contract. So I find that one, we don't count it an appointment if you don't ask for the business. Like if you're just going to look at their house and give them decorating ideas, in my opinion, that's not a listing. You have to actually ask them to sign the contract. And how I get them to sign the contract is, hey, Ben, I know that you're eager to get this process started. Step one is once we agree on a price or a range in price and we get the contract signed, I can get my stager and my photographer over here, because what we're going to want to do is we're going to put your marketing package together that we have so that if you can buy non-contingent, that we can start looking for houses and we list your home as soon as you find the house that you want to buy. And that way it's like, because they want the next step. Well, they know the next step is the stager and the photographer, but I'm not going to do that if you haven't signed the contract, right? So, and then from there it's, okay, now that we got your photos and everything done, now we can start looking at houses. That's how we do it, because they just want to know what's the next step. But to Jacob's point, if they can't buy non-contingent, then we would probably list their house first. It's a good question. Anything that any of you want to add to like business sources or reasons?
Not necessarily, but just to piggyback on what you were just saying, I think it's so important that to kind of the order that Bethany was talking about of like not running around with a buyer before you have those things. So yes, I'd say a lot of the listings that we're focusing on this time of year are exactly those type of sellers that, hey, let's get agents. And then we're ready. And then they're also more of a real buyer versus being a 2 or 3 year out. Maybe they're now into the next year.
And I think if you can explain to someone confidently why they need to do the next step next, they want us to tell them. Like they actually want that from us. So I won't even meet with a buyer. I won't do a buyer consultation if they're not pre-approved yet. Why? I have nothing to consult you on. I don't know any numbers. Right? So but I'm not going to tell them that on the phone that they're going to be like, wow, she's rude. Instead, it's, hey, Kevin, I'm really excited to meet with you. Step one is actually I'm gonna connect you with Eric. I'm gonna do an introduction. Eric's gonna send you a link. I need you to fill out that application. Once you get the application done, Eric's gonna meet with you and talk about your pre-approval amount. Because the reality is, Kevin, you're gonna buy based on your monthly payment, and we need to figure out what that comfortable monthly payment is. And Eric's the one that does that. And then I get to show you the houses that fit that monthly payment. Right? So when they understand why, then Eric gets them pre-approved. He lets me know they're pre-approved. And then I say, okay, awesome, Kevin, let's meet tomorrow. Speed the lead, get the buyer rep signed, set them up on an MLS server. Then you go from there. The other thing I do is I actually tell buyers in my buyer consultation, hey, Kevin, because I've been doing this so long, and the reality is you actually know a lot more about the market than you probably realize. You and your wife Zillow talk at night, right? And they're like, oh yeah, like, yeah, on average, I show someone less than 5 homes before they write an offer. They need to know what to expect. I'm not going to show you 12 homes. There aren't 12 homes that fit your criteria for me to show you. You're probably going to write an offer the first time I take you out. But when you say it with confidence, they're like, okay, especially if they're a first-time home buyer.
Can I ask you about your numbers up there? So relocation, is that, one of the things as a broker that I found is people did not like working with a relocation company. Are your relocations coming from referrals or are they relocation?
They're agent referrals. I don't think we worked with one relo company last year. I think we've got one in the pipeline right now that her company might pull in the relocation company. But yeah, no, those are all agent referrals.
Can I ask another one? Why, way down is relationship, like number 5.
Yeah.
So are your upsides, are those other 3 above it coming from relationship, or how do you decide an upsize or downside is not a relationship, it's one of these?
Relationship is the nice way of me saying divorce.
Oh, gotcha. So their relationship is changing. Gotcha.
Yeah, their relationship is terminating.
Or they're getting married.
I don't think there's any. I think we then categorize them as like. I'm pretty sure those are divorced, but I love your thought process. I love how positive that's. But like, I think I put it that way, honestly, for situations where if a client ever saw this or whatever, I wouldn't feel bad about it. We deal with a lot of divorces. I had the craziest divorce month this year in January, so they weren't even included in that. But I told Jess, our director of ops, I was like, I never want to talk to another divorcing couple. Like, it was awful, the couples that I was dealing with. But
are you getting those from attorneys or relationships?
database.
I guess that's a great question. Is as you look at those things, you talked about strategically having the conversation, being prepared for the conversation once you have that person, right? Are you strategically prospecting to any of the, we want more first timers, we want more move uppers, we want.
So like first time home buyers, we have done first time home buyer seminars. We honestly didn't get a ton of attraction to those last year, but we were still closing them last year from years prior. Some of those, like, I think one of the reasons realtors don't make it beyond 2 years is because that's when their pipeline is actually going to pop. Because some of those people, they need credit repair, they need to save, whatever that might be. It could take them 2 years to get ready to buy. But relocation, yes, I'm very intentional with my real estate database. So like when I go to realtor events, I collect everyone's information. And the first thing I do is I take pictures of the business cards and send them to my virtual assistant, and she plugs them into our database. So yes, we're strategic with that as well. And then we market to them. I connect with them on social media. If I ever do a presentation in a different state at a Keller Williams event or something, I'll say on there, like, here's my Instagram handle, go follow me and let's connect. Or if I see a speaker at a real estate event, I will find them on Instagram and I will message them and intentionally build that relationship with them. I would say the offloading investor also, we have an investor network that we strategically market to. So yes, but what I don't want people, my hope in sharing this was not make people feel like you need to overcomplicate. Like that's come with time. Lydia, would you mind going back to the previous slide? I would instead look at this and go, your number one thing is that questionnaire that I handed out. Like you already have so many people that you don't even realize you have that all just need to be marketed to in a systematic way. So when Heather was sharing the gardening event, I would 100% participate in that. That's a huge part of how we connect with our database. And I know the Zurichs do the same thing where they get an email from us, they get a phone call from us. And you know, that's also how we build our database. So if you have the budget to say, hey, bring a neighbor with you or bring a friend, like that's how we're now scaling all of our events. We're doing a Mother's Day event and the marketing around it is going to be, if you're not a mom, bring a mom. Because I'm looking to grow my database. So I might not know the mom you bring, and then I can add her to my database. So any sources of business that you guys have that aren't on here? And Royce's is obviously a little different, but also the same. You build a database, you market to it. It's just more business.
Do you actually get a lot of sign calls?
Yes.
You do?
Under our business page, our Google business page. They're mostly all from there and technical. And we have signs that are in the yard protecting for information. They can text the address to that sign number, and those are in there as well, but those are under for the idea. Oh.
So it's a big deal to get that pending up as soon as it goes pending and the sold and.
What's been really interesting is actually 3 of our 6 new business here are from people taking a picture of our for sale sign. So they don't call it then, but they call us later. And one of them, she had a picture from a sale I had on Lake Harriet last year. And she called and she goes, I walked through this open house. And I'm like, dang it. She goes, I think I want to run an offer and I would like you to help me. I passed her off to Alyssa on the team. I was like, get her pre-approved, go show the condo again so you know what you're writing an offer on. That's all Alyssa did, and she had it under contract. But I just found it very interesting that the woman took a picture of the sign and waited months to call us.
Or they see how fast it sells and then call us. So that happened to Jordan. He had a listing in Dayton. They took a picture of the sign, watched how fast it sold, then called. So yeah.
You guys do just listed, just sold postcards too.
Yep, for every single listing.
Every single listing.
Yep.
Just listed and just sold.
Yep, about a little around that.
And Courtney, you do all that through command, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got a class on that before, that I believe is on our. Okay.
Any other, I don't even know what time it is, but Wendy.
Yeah, we can see
So-
the clock.
James Scheinman is like Inspire Community, and he just gave us a spreadsheet that's where did your leads come from? And how many of those turned into closings, and it was very eye-opening. Do you track how many leads you get and then how many of those turn into actual closings? Because that was kind of enlightening to me. So some things that feel like you're getting a lot of business actually don't result in anything.
Yeah.
And the other piece was how things I tended to lump together, like, oh, these are all sphere of influence. I'm like, not really. This was a referral from a client, and this was a referral from a relative, and this was a referral from a longtime friend. And I mean, just seeing the different, really different types of relationships that are actually producing the business.
So yes and no. So we track, and I'd love to hear, Ben, your thoughts on this too. We track our sources of business, and we do break it down between like sphere, team. So anything in our database, team is me. Like, so I track sphere team, I track sphere individual. So that's the individual on the team. Sphere referral team, sphere referral individual. Past client team, past client individual, past client referral team, past client referral individual. That's how I can break it down by what did the agents generate versus what did I generate. And this is, if you're building a team, this is actually very healthy. You want the business to be able to keep up with the agents. So the argument would actually be that I'm too low on agents because they only generated 51, but I generated 60. That makes sense. But I would also encourage you not to get too far. I think people get data analysis where it's like they spend way too much time tracking things and not the things. But because we're in place gives us a monthly P&L where I can sit down and go with Jess and we do this. Okay, we spent X amount of dollars on events. How many people truly came from our past clients and sphere of influence, because those are our events, right? Like that's how I track the ROI on that. We personally have not had success with just listed, just sold postcards, but I know Deserts do. They probably could tell you, well, yeah, we had X amount of deals last year from those. Where I did it for a while and I didn't have one. So I was like, I'm not going to keep investing in that. That's where I would track it, is just based on your P&L. Compare your P&L to your closings and can you justify the expense? Depending on who you ask, Gary Keller will say it should be a 2-to-1 ratio. You spend $100 on something, you should make $200 back. Jeff Glover, who I respect wildly, is a 1-to-1 ratio. He's like, as long as I get my money back, he doesn't care, because for him, his advertising is actually a really big deal because Jeff is such a big name in Detroit now that he just cares that his sign is everywhere. So it kind of depends on who you ask, which model you would want to follow. Ben, you have anything to add to that, or Jacob, Royce?
Yeah, I mean, we lean not necessarily the 2-to-1 for the postcards specifically, but I'd say we get a lot of feedback as just when we see people that I didn't even realize lived within 100 doors are bringing up the postcard, or they are people who are holding onto the postcard and then calling us later, right? One we just signed. It's not necessarily my favorite lead stream, but it's one that works enough.
And some advertising expenses are, I'm gonna say this even though I feel like it's gonna sound icky. Some advertising expenses are literally just to make your seller happy. And it's actually not about ROI. It's about the fact that the reality is, if you don't price a listing correctly, it's not gonna sell. You can stage the heck out of it. You can market the heck out of it. You can pay for all these ads and all sorts of things, but the leading thing is price. But sellers want to know that you sent the just listed postcard. Sellers want to know that you spent X amount of dollars on Facebook ads. Like because they want to know that you're working for them. And sometimes I think for sellers, they feel like money talks too, especially when they see your commission check, $15,000. Yeah.
Just a question about the postcards. Are you talking about, sorry, postcards, are you handing them out? You know, the handout double-sided ones, or are you printing out ones that you mail?
Right, so they are printed, mailed all through command, so we never physically see them in person, but we get one mailed to our office so that we can track when they came and what they look like.
Courtney, you get all the addresses, right? Doesn't it do a circle around the house.
You can like pick and choose which houses you actually want. Like it chooses 100 nearest to the house, but you can also, oh, I don't want to send it to this person because for whatever reason, you can remove them. But it'll add another house. It's actually really simple to do it on command. Mm-hmm.
I would take it a step further and try to get a review from your seller to put on the postcard with the just sold.
Ooh.
Like I would try to do, that's one of our goals this year is how do I take all the things that are working and make them just a little bit better. I don't need to keep reinventing wheels. I just need to take what's working for us and take it to the next level.
Clients are happy to have their quote about you on.
I've never had anyone have an issue with it.
Excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, Jess and Courtney did a training on Google reviews and I was shocked that no one was in the training. Like I would do it because I'm like, I wanted to support Jess, but like everyone should be focused on Google reviews.
Mm-hmm.
Did the Market Center buy Michael Trihart's training?
Have it.
That would be a really good thing to just rewatch in the office. We took a ton, I mean, I would rewatch it because there's notes I took that I still haven't implemented.
We definitely do that again. Last time we did it, a few people were in here and so they were able to pause it and work it.
This is kind of on it. Ben, do you remember, it must have been last Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah.
You had clients come to you were meeting clients. It was a
Yeah.
buyer.
Right.
And so they were in there and, you can hear Ben and Alex laugh and giggle from the conference room, which is always puts a smile on my face. And so they left, you know what I mean? So the clients left.
And they did not buy.
Yep, and they came back, but no, they left, they went down the elevator. All of a sudden I hear the elevator and I come out and I'm like, hey, and they're like, we want to sign. And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, let me go grab Ben and Alex for you. I run back to their office, bring them out, and they sign the paperwork.
Right, yeah.
So who were they from? They must have not known you, right? They just met you that day?
Right, I think it was a referral from a past client. And they had 2 other realtor meetings set up the following week, and that was Friday. And in our meeting, we let them know, hey, if you want us to make any of those calls to those realtors, we're happy to do that for you. In a joking, fun manner, right? To keep it very positive and not like contract talk.
But really quick, he solved the problem.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's the problem. They're like, I feel an obligation to keep these appointments. So yeah, keep going. Right.
And so that's essentially, they came back up, they're like, yes, let's figure that out.
And were they first time home buyers move
They
up?
were first time home buyers.
And they were a referral. And I just was like, oh my God, that's so cool. You know what I mean? I mean, all they did was talk in the elevator on their way down, come back up, let's sign.
Yeah.
So I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was cool. And that was a referral.
Yep.
And I could tell you I never met him.
Correct. Yep.
That's all I had to share. And I don't need to keep people up. We've got 10 minutes, but if we don't have anything else we need to cover, we end early, unless anyone has any other questions. Cool.
Thank you, Bethany. Thank you, ALC. Oh my God. Sorry. Oh, thank you guys all so much. I really appreciate it. Amy will be back tomorrow. And what about wants and needs? Any wants and needs?
Yeah, I really need a Chanhassen townhome or Minnetonka or Shorewood up to 450, please.
And the doorknob.
Yeah.
The door knock. All right, you guys send them to Lydia before 2. And she will get out an email. And remember, she'll also send out a recap with the codes, the
Links to sign up.
links to sign up in that email.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for coming. Thank you, ALC, again. I really, really appreciate it.
See you.